Who do you work for?
Garda?
Garda.
Yeah.
Oh, these guys work for Garda. You don't speak English. Ben, speak to him. He works for Garda.
For who?
Garda. Garda, yeah. So, yeah, he'll help you. He'll help you.
How much you guys get paid?
I don't know. How much you get paid?
How much you guys get paid? 160,000? That's what I heard.
We're paying for you guys.
How much of our tax dollars are you guys using?
That was Terry Newsome and his friend Ben Berkwam confronting the private security guards at a facility in Chicago that is supposedly owned by the federal government. As you can see from Terry's video, this facility is being used to house illegal immigrants, notably children. And in this video and others at similar facilities around Chicago, Terry is harangued by the guards because he is daring to expose the whole corrupt enterprise. Even though the guards clearly assaulted him, the police filed a report against Terry Newsome rather than the big firm. So, what is a security services contractor? The guards work for a group known as GardaWorld Federal Services and their subsidiary, Aegis Defense Services, a firm with its own checkered past. As Courthouse News reports, quote, the chairman of the board of GardaWorld Security Corps threatened to, quote, kill any executive of the family of any executive who spoke publicly about the company's financial problems, which were at variance with its public reporting. A senior vice president and COO of a Garda subsidiary claims in Superior Court. And apparently the shady security contractor did engage in aggressive behavior towards a potential whistleblower and his wife. That whistleblower and his wife took the firm to court as a result. But the suspicious firm is now raking in the money, tons of dough from the Harris Biden regime's open border mania, specifically in Chicago. Book Club Chicago reports, quote, city officials quietly signed a $29 million contract with GardaWorld Federal Services and its subsidiary Aegis Defense Services on September 12th for the firm to provide temporary housing on an as-needed basis for asylum seekers, procurement records show. Joining us now is Terry Newsome. He's the host of the popular podcast Behind Enemy Lines. Terry, it's just more information about how the Biden-Harris administration is helping facilitate this influx of particularly Venezuelans, but migrants from across the globe into Chicago, right? So tell us about your confrontation, or I will say your latest confrontation.
Yeah, there was three of them, but the last one with the security guards that assaulted me, actually, those charges were against them, not against me. So it was against them. They're the ones that assaulted me. I had to go to a police station. They looked at the video and they filed battery and criminal damage to property. And what you were able to hear after she slapped my hand the second time and knocked the phone out, my screen cracked. And she said, it's on camera, I hope I broke your phone. So those charges have been filed, and I'm waiting to hear back from the Chicago Police Department on what the next steps are. With that said, this location right here that's on screen right now is in Hyde Park. Everybody knows Hyde Park, right? Barack Hussein Obama, University of Chicago. This is overlooking Lake Michigan. Beautiful property. They're in this hotel. And I was there with another media person standing on the sidewalk, standing next to a taxi stand, where they came out and started telling us that we had no right to be there. It's private property. We couldn't film, telling me to shut off my camera. I said, where's the signage? And they said over there, and they pointed to a sign that was for the hotel that said, if you're not, part of the hotel, that you could be told. It had nothing to do with private property. And this hotel, by the way, still shows it's a hotel, nothing about shelters. So they were totally lying, just like they all did at the other centers. When I was leaving, I walked in front of the building here, and you'll see my camera was upside down because they knocked it out of my hand. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah. And inside there, you'll see there was a organization right there. You see New Life Center. That is Obama Foundation affiliate. So there they are in Hyde Park, and feeding, clothing, housing them. And then right around the corner is, bunch of low-income African Americans and other people struggling in America, while these people are overlooking Lake Michigan.
So help us understand the relationship between Obama's New Life Center. Okay. From what I understand, they, along with Garda, are managing the federal government's operations in these sanctuary cities. So what
Mhm.
I'm asking is that outside of Chicago, is this some kind of formal relationship between Obama's New Life Center and Garda
So
and now
Garda
the illegal migrant?
Yeah, Garda historically is a physical security as well as some IT and intrusion cameras. They also do, what do you call it, with the armored cars and vehicles for housing money, of which they lost. They lost a lot of money in occasions. And Colorado was first going to hire him before Chicago, a $30 million contract. And they found out in the reporting from Colorado, they did not go forward because they found out that Garda did not provide these types of services in assembling and managing the units, the shelters, the military style tents that they're staying in. So they ended their contract. And the one that we mentioned earlier in the show here, that $29 million is just to assemble the tents, just to assemble them, put them up for the city, and provide other services wrapped around outside of the security guard services that are at like 27 different centers. There was about 27, and every center I went to, Garda was there. So I'm not sure of how many centers that they had security, but I will be finding out. And the contract with Garda goes above and beyond the $29 million to assemble and manage these tents, which is crazy. If you know, Brandon Johnson likes to tell us how many times he's black, right? How he wants to help minorities. Well, why didn't he hire some of the city of Chicago minority firms to assemble these tents, right? Why didn't he hire security guard agencies? There's plenty in Chicago that were minority owned to provide security services within these buildings, right? Why not? There's some kind of connection between Garda further up the food chain that we're all going to be looking into that would explain why they did not give any minority contractors the opportunity first of all, it shouldn't be happening, right? Secondly, if you're going to spend money, why are you spending money with Garda, which is not even an American company? It's a Canadian company with a U.S. Corporation, but it's basically from Quebec, Canada. So we're giving our tax dollars to foreigners to come here, and then we're giving our tax dollars to secure them to a country that's not from America. Is that not crazy?
It's probably sounds crazy to the average American, Terry Newsome, but we found this, or we've run into this scenario so many times when it relates to certain operations that shouldn't be happening on domestic soil, that I have my suspicions about what you're going to find, but we won't get into that because I know that you're actively looking into that and you're going to share that with our audience at a later date. You did actually further confront Garda professionals. You kind of asked, what is so confidential? What is, if what are you trying to hide? Or if there's nothing to hide, why are you hiding it? Let's take a listen.
What do you call like what is so confidential? What are you trying to hide?
We're not trying to hide nothing. All I'm saying is you cannot park there.
So is there Venezuelans in here?
Yes, it is. Why?
They both
Because I want to know. Because I'm paying for it.
Okay, yes, it is. It's a shelter.
So what you're trying to hide is that there's illegal immigrants in there. We're paying for it, and you don't want us to film. We're in a taxi stand. We're in a taxi stand.
I mean, they know they're not supposed to say certain things, obviously, from the woman's demeanor and body language. But I felt like, I don't know about you, and I'm speculating and I'm reading into this, is that she felt a bit conflicted. I'm surprised she would even talk to you.
Yeah, they always direct us to Mary May. That's her name. She's got posters on every single building. Call her. I was with this other reporter. He reached out to her, called her, sent emails. Nothing from Mary May. Nothing. So we're told in most cases they won't talk. Oh, talk to Mary May. Well, Mary May don't talk to us either. So they expect us just to walk away, not film it, not film from public areas, from sidewalks, from the street. And you've seen these other videos. It goes over and over and over again. What are they hiding? We know what they're hiding. They're being sarcastic.
Well, but then there's also this interesting interaction that you had in which they suggested it's federal property when you're thinking you're dealing with the city of Chicago. Let's take a listen.
Okay, go
This
ahead.
is
This is
federal
not federal
property?
property. This is not federal property.
What is
It's
that?
not federal
wait,
property.
what does that mean? It's federal property.
Why y'all just can't go home?
Don't touch me.
You touching me?
You push.
Get out of my way, boy.
You pushed me first.
No,
bro.
you did.
It's on camera. You
I'm
pushed
not
me
dead.
first.
Been violent with the other officer.
You all just go ahead. You all just go ahead. You all just go ahead.
Thank you.
No, look, I don't want to cause any problems with you guys. I
There's
think
no
it's
problem
interesting
to be
that I'm
calm.
driving
This is
through-
no longer open to the public. You all can find another hotel.
So this is a federal building.
federal property.
This is federal property is what you're saying.
Can we just confirm that?
It's federal property. You're
now?
saying it's federal property.
Yeah,
Was
just
this the
before.
airport?
No, well, this is by Midway, 7300 South Cicero. I grew up at 87 Cicero there. It's south of Midway Airport. It's the Holiday Inn signs everywhere. Holiday Inn Express, not one
No, it's
sign.
not actually the airport terminal.
No, it's south of the airport by 20 blocks. It's
Oh, well, that's
they probably
different, isn't it?
there because of the airport. But what was interesting, right before that happened, that woman slapped Ben Berquam's phone. That wasn't in the video. That I didn't have it. I didn't get it on camera, but she slapped his phone. He said the same thing. Don't touch me. And then to the point about getting so every location they called 911 on us. And that location there, the police came. They were super cool, right? And then the guy came up, and I'm like, here, tell him how you said this is federal property. And the cops are like, don't look like federal property to me. He's looking, it says Holiday Inn Express.
The cop said that?
Yeah, and he's telling, and then the NGO guy is telling him to arrest us. Now, here's a point that I didn't bring up to you guys. My friend Tyrone Mohammed went there 2 days after us, African-American guy from the South Side. He got arrested by those same people. So a different Chicago cop showed up. I told him it was a bad sign when this female police officer showed up and she's wearing a COVID mask. So she arrested him for trespassing. And then he had to spend the night in jail. Swear to God, with all this, they let people out of jail in Chicago. They don't even put him in jail, right? And Tyrone got arrested for trespassing. He's got to go to court for it. None of that said private property. Nowhere. There was signs inside the window you can't get in, but none of it was ever described as being private property. Oh, and if it is federal property, does that mean we have a right to be on it because it's publicly funded property? I don't know the answer to that, but I know they shouldn't be touching us, private or public or whatever property.
True. And here's the thing, they're working against their own interests. I understand that they have a job right now and they feel like it's good. They're actually working against the own interests of their own community. Terry, so you still have the pending charges against the assault against you. So you'll keep us posted on that. You're also doing some more digging on exactly the contract involved with Garda and the powers involved or what the contract actually is. So those are 2 bullet points for our audience to keep in mind, because you're going to let us know when you have more for us on that.
Absolutely.
We appreciate your work, Terry.
Yeah, we'll be on your show for sure with it, and it's going to be a little bit more surprising than this.
That's quite a teaser. Thank you, Terry Newsome. In the meantime, you can watch his show on Rumble and YouTube. Behind Enemy Lines, you can also find Terry on X at Terry Newsome 357, Terry Newsome 357. Thank you, my friend. Stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you.